Oh, you're in for a real treat.
If we can dream it, then we can do it. Yes, we can, yes, we can.
Hang on to them hats and glasses, 'cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Mickey pretzel, Mickey ice cream bar, or an ice cream sandwich.
Oh, this is so easy. This is so easy. Mickey ice cream bar. We're gonna love them. We're gonna like the Mickey pretzel, and we're gonna leave the ice cream sandwich. I can't even understand the ice cream sandwich.
Gets his stuff and gets ready to leave, and I was like, "You leaving?" And he said that's when he was like, "Okay,
Yeah, so
got me."
But so why'd you pull over then?
I was probably more scared than anything. Pull over. I don't know if this guy's crazy.
for Polly, Grand Floridian, and Contemporary.
I would buy a Wookiee cookie before I would buy an ice cream sandwich in Disney. I'm just saying.
chose the music they chose, and that's why that they laid this life out, you know, from birth to death in the show. It's actually much more to it than I think a lot of people realize until we really start to see it more.
I'm going to skip out because I do have to do my football show where I will be picking the Patriots to lose this week. By the way, go Raven, out!
I'll talk to him later. Pete is great. Love Pete.
11 children in the house. Sometimes we would have 30.
You had the house to hang out at.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Stevens.
What's up, guys?
Well,
let's go live on YouTube. People might like to see that. And believe it or not, that first night we got 1,000 people watching. I don't.
Year after year.
You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
hello and welcome, everyone. We are live once again on a Tuesdays. It is the DIZPod, living on its own channel these days at TheDisneyPod, all one word, TheDizPod. You know, I always feel like when I'm in the parks, I have to spell out and explain the simple 3 words, living in Diz. And that just goes to show you that I should always have stickers on hand. So I got to start being more conscientious of that. We'll go a little fancier with the word, because we talked about this on Saturday night, Tammy and I. I'm like, no matter how I say it to people, and people will walk away saying, oh, yeah, hey, guys, that's living with Diz. I'm like, no, it was living, I-N. It's like living in Disney. Like we live in Disney. Take out the Disney word and put out D-I-Z. And
If only you had stickers with a QR code on it. Gosh, if only.
And they're right over my right-hand shoulder, so they're ready to go for tomorrow. So...
All right.
I'm gonna put it on my table with a purpose. My supply table with, look at this. I'm gonna step aside this so people get a little sneak peek. That table right there is the streaming table. It's got the gimbal and it's got the pins reloaded and ready to go. All the equipment that I need, so I don't forget anything, is right there. We need to start putting the stickers right there.
My gimbal is right there.
And
I'll need it on Saturday.
And why is that?
Well, Saturday, folks, is NC Disneyana. We have been to this show twice. We went last year, excuse me, and the year before that. It's a fun event. I certainly am not into pins. We've all seen the pin trading that has just grabbed hold of Corey now, and it's like taken over him, but that's okay. He enjoys it, and that's what it's all about. And so when we bring up our guest, you'll see that our guest is not afraid of collecting a pin either. My pin board is over there, and I don't show it on stream because it's pretty sad. I think I have maybe 10 pins over there. Most of what I have over there is the buttons that you get in the park. which don't really count. I can't trade those.
No.
I can't.
We
trade
recently
those.
just tossed. We've been going through. We had been going through this past summer of like thinning things out, and we actually tossed a lot of buttons. Because they sit in a bag, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's something you want to keep. For us, we've eliminated a bunch. We still have
Yeah.
a few from Alani and some of the special ones. You still have special ones, though. I mean, I think I kept one that said we had like 300 subscribers, celebrating 300 subscribers.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I have some milestone buttons like that kind of thing. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have the one that
I did.
Catherine made for Tron. I have our happily ever after buttons when I proposed.
Oh yeah.
The happy birthday button that when we were at the Halloween party and a cast member, a dancer, said happy birthday to me. Can't get rid of those.
I believe I still have the button that from when we did our 4-part challenge. See, that's a special button.
Oh, I bet one of those is over there. I have my glasses on, but I can't see, folks. Sorry.
Gotcha. Hey, we do this live because we do it for all of you. If it weren't for you, Lawrence and I could be recording this baby at 2:00 in the morning on a Friday morning. Who knows? But we do this live because we do it for all of you. I was just picking some random time. it would probably be all over the place. Like, when are you good for this week?
It would be
for this week.
Yeah.
When
can you fit it in? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And if you're not listening or watching live, you can always, when we're done, it sits here forever on the DIZPod channel, or people also find us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and iHeartRadio. So we're happy to be in all those places too. So I think without further ado, we need to bring our first guest on.
Yes. So, folks, let me introduce new friend of the channel, Bryan from NC Disneyana. Welcome, Bryan.
Welcome, Bryan.
I appreciate it. I was going to say, Lawrence, I can kind of feel the pin pain now. I've been trying to collect inside out adorbs, and you can see where it's gotten me. Just a whole lot of anger trying to get this. So I'm like, when I collect these pins, I will collect a bunch of angers until I can get a Bing Bong Super Chaser. So Lawrence, you might be on the right side of the equation despite my background here.
So, well, hold on. Now I need to know about that, the inside out collection. Tell what's happening.
So, they have like these inside out adorbs, right? You get these inside out adorbs boxes from Walt Disney Imagineering. If you know cast members, it's a little easier to try and get.
Okay.
And then I would try and go for like full sets, right? And I could not get a Bing Bong Super Chaser. And so what I said was, until someone trades this Bing Bong Super Chaser with me, I'm just going to hoard this. So this is the living, breathing, documentary evidence of maybe why you should avoid these boxes for a little bit, Bryan.
Wow.
So happy to be here, and I'm glad to hear this is a podcast for pinners and non-pinners alike.
Yes. In fact, we have a friend of the network, the Disney Baker, who's another streamer, and we're going to have him on in a couple weeks. And on Sundays, his show is really all about pins, like behind you, to the side of him, behind him. It's crazy. Absolutely, he's probably got pins hanging from the ceiling, probably.
Well,
so, yeah. So tell us a little bit about NC Disneyana, your involvement with it, and what we can expect from this weekend.
Well, first, thank you for being a repeat convention attendee. We appreciate it. And, without people who have been very strongly advocating for these events, we wouldn't have one this year, frankly. We had a former president. Her name was Elizabeth. She's gotten us to this point for 5 years. And unfortunately, due to health reasons, we weren't able to have an event this year. And she said, Bryan, would you mind taking charge of this thing I built? And first thing I did was I sent a survey out. And within a couple of days, I got dozens and dozens of responses from people saying, please don't let this convention not happen this year. And so lo and behold, here we come up Saturday, October 4th in Durham. A free airport shuttle for those flying in, complimentary parking at RTP Airport Hotel there DoubleTree. Please, please, please come. It's going to be a great time. And as you can attest to from being there multiple times, it's a fun event.
I'll tell you what stuck out to me the first year I went, because I thought, okay, it's pin trading. I'll go, I'll cover the event, and that'll be it. But I didn't realize the amount of vendors that are there selling stuff. And then I think Locana was probably added last year. So I don't think Locana was the year before that. But I mean, it's just grown into so many different things.
Yeah, we have popcorn. Someone's doing Disney beads, popcorn buckets. Someone was asking me, Bryan, is this only pins? I'm like, no, we have a good chunk of people who are doing non-pins, and pins are exploding. We have pins as well. So I'm going to be doing like pinfolio boards, binders, different little prizes for people. For the first time ever, we're going to be doing a bingo event, and it's called Pingo. So how it's going to work is like everyone can bring an authentic carded pin or take one from a vendor, play bingo, and then you can win a whole prize pool full of pins. So we're trying to do some new things as well to keep folks engaged. We're going to have door prizes every single hour. So it's going to be fun.
And what do we know what the door prizes are?
Well, that's a nice transition.
Uh-oh.
So I'll show someone my little heavy hitter. I can't say what time this is going to be, so you got to stay for the full event.
Okay.
But Ashley Waltz, she donated for our event this lovely, lovely pin frame, and it's got Donald Duck. It's got a nice little pin as well. You get the frame, and we also have stuff like a nice little Jungle Book lunchbox for the kiddos out there or kids at heart. We got Moana bags. We've got a Hocus Pocus card game. We've got a little pin binder as well for folks. And this you might appreciate. We got a little glow-in-the-dark Madame Leota. Very, very cool little treat I got. It's in October, this event, so I had to do something Haunted Mansion. So that's just a few of the many things that we'll have there for folks.
Wow. Yeah. That Madame Leota, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, who doesn't love Madame Leota, right?
Exactly. And it's a snow globe, so I mean, I didn't even show the best part. You shake it up and there you go.
I got her right here as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Well.
That's an ornament that came
is
out.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an ornament that came out, and she lights up too.
Very cool. You got the gold effect right there.
Yeah.
The Madame Leota that I have is a yard blow up. And it's funny. Right. I got it last year, and I bought it at Lowe's, and it was on sales like a couple days before Halloween. And I was like, it's 50% off. I'll take it. And I was sitting here doing something, and I see flashes outside. I'm like, what is going on? And I look out the window, and people are outside taking pictures, just standing in front of it. I'm like, yes.
That's how you notice it when you're in your neighborhood, when your home is an attraction in and of itself. You just got to pin something on Google Maps, head to Lawrence's right there.
That's it. Yeah. So we had fun with that. So did you get involved with it by being a pin trader, or have you had tables, or what was your involvement?
So my first pin event, it was right into the pandemic, and how I kind of got into pin trading was out of some sadness, where I had collected pins once. I went to Disneyland when I was 6 years old, and I got a bunch of pins, and I was excited. And then when moving from California to North Carolina, someone had stolen those pins that I had as a child, and I had no longer had those pins. So when I got to North Carolina, I was like, I wonder if there's some group of people who have pins, collect pins. And as you can see behind me, they kind of hooked me in very quick. So this is what you're seeing behind me is just some of a 4-year-long journey. I collect Aristocats pins myself, but really what I found was, I like the pins. Like, don't get me wrong. I like the pins clearly, but really it was the community that got me. The people here are so friendly, and I'm sure California, Florida, people are friendly, but North Carolina is like an extra layer of some Southern kindness. And so it's really just a very nice group of people. And you've probably gone to some events where it's like people are looking for reasons to say no to trades. Here in North Carolina, people will actively go out of their way to try and get people the trades they want. And so I really fell in love with that community. And my first event, I had like a dozen pins on like some bubble wrap from a post office package. And it's evolved or devolved depending on your perspective over the last few years, for sure.
Wow. Do you have any that are, excuse me, special to you? Do you keep them separate from the rest of them, or?
Well, I mean, I'm looking, it wouldn't even fit on screen, but I'm looking at my whole Aristocats board. There's a few different ones, and Aristocats was a movie that my wife and her family had kind of enjoyed. And I got into it. I kind of low-key joke that it's like my favorite worst Disney movie. It's nothing's wrong with the animation style of Aristocats. It's just a little weird. But I just fell in love with it. And so that is how I started collecting Aristocat pins. And that is my big personal collection.
Funny enough, my daughter, who's 6, Aristocats is probably one of her favorite movies. Well, probably any movie, because she loves cats. Like Marie is her favorite character. So we watch that one here pretty often.
It's coming up on the 55th anniversary there. You got your Marie Sweet Dreams pin.
Yes, that's for Lawrence right there. He texted me the other night. So what I've been doing is we have a new tradition on the channel where if we raise a small target goal, because pins are expensive. They're expensive. We reach a small target goal just to take the edge off, a $45 pack. We'll go get one, and we will reveal, that's a mouthful, of what we have in there. And then we decide, and I try to keep the our viewers involved with this too. Okay, we've already bought one pack of the sleepy ones. We're gone to our second or third pack, and this is what we have so far. Let's see what we've got. And I open them and I reveal them to them first. I don't get to see them. And so it just so happens I got a duplicate of Marie, and Lawrence texted me right away and said, I know a special little girl who would like that Marie pin. So
that's so nice.
It's a side. Yes.
Well, thank you.
But I want to say something about what you said about just, how people at your event just will go out of their way to make trades. And now pin trading has exploded so much in Walt Disney World. There are places, and Disney has no problem with it. I guess why would they? But Disney's picky with anything that's going on in their parks without them overlooking it. But it's amazing where if you've gone to Epcot since the remodel, where they have Creations, the Creations store, and
Connections.
Creation and Connections right there. Well, there's like an alleyway there. Did you ever go when they had Mouse Gear, when Mouse Gear was there, and the electric umbrella? Does that sound familiar? You could say no. Anyway,
I mean,
there's
full candor. I went to Disneyland once when I was 6, and I have not made it to a park. Astonishingly, people are floored when I tell them I've not been to Disneyland or Disney World since that time I was 6 years old. It's crazy.
That's okay.
Wow.
Okay. I hadn't gone until I was like 31, something like that. So
I mean, it's not for lack of desire, certainly.
For sure. Anyway, there's just this path, this walkway through with some benches for people to rest and some chairs and tables, and it's been taken over on a daily basis by pin collectors, and they just take those big pin folios, lay them out, and it's become a place where people can go and feel comfortable trading. And I found that Disney people are great people, big hearts, very nice, and all that. But it gets plussed up with the pins. I feel like people are extra nice. I'm just blown away by what I do now is I'll buy like 3 packs of something. And I don't know if you have a strategy with this, but I'm forming strategies because that's what I do, Lawrence.
Tell me your secret.
So, okay, well, I'll say this quick so you can talk more. say with the sleepy ones, there's 16 in the pack or 16 for the collection. So you get 5 per pack. So once I've reached the third pack, I have 15 pins. So hopefully, I'm hoping at least I have 10 or 11, maybe, or 10 that are not duplicates. And I can take those other duplicates now and confidently go over to Epcot and try to trade those for the ones I need. And what I found is a lot of people will keep their books are open and they'll just say, what do you need? Well, I'm trying to finish this set. Well, okay, here, I got these 2 that you need. Okay, is there any, and I'll show them, is there anything that you want? I don't care. Just give me 2 pins and I want you to finish your set. I get that a lot. And I'm blown away by that kindness.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say the story that kind of stands out to me was, when at times there are people who get into pin collecting and it's their first event and they get like, a bunch of scrappers on eBay or something like that, or fake pins. And they think, I got for $25, I just got 100 pins or something like that. And so what we have at our events is usually, if that from time to time that happens to be the case, we will try and find, if there's a child who's unhappy, we will find them a mystery box. We will try and find them something that is an authentic pin that they can just have and trade for. And, I think that's part of the fun of it, is the trading aspect to it. Because if you try hard to get everything you want, you can end up with something like this. So, you need the trading community out there. You need it for a reason. Yeah. And everyone here is so kind. And I will say our events have grown as well. We had like 25 people at a Triangle meetup like a year and a half ago. Like we just had last July, this July, a couple months ago, 116 people. That's not the big convention. That is the every other month Triangle group that meets. So it has gone crazy in the past couple of years, this pin community.
So I assume that the pins behind you, those are non-tradables. Like those are there for good. They're cemented.
See, well, I will say we had a Facebook thread on our Disneyana Facebook page, and I just said, comment with something that you're in search of or that's on your ISO. Someone said, I collect rock and roller coaster. So I took something that was off of one of these boards that I had, because, I'm okay parting with it. I'd rather have a pin go to someone who truly needs and appreciates it. And so you'll see a rock and roller coaster pin from this board go into the event because someone said, hey, I collect that. And I'm like, sure, I'll bring it. So the answer is no to 100% of the questions you don't ask.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is true.
We have a question from the audience. Sharon wants to know, how can you tell as a beginner that a pin isn't authentic?
That is a great question. So there's a few different things that I like to say. Really, my first tip is go on your phone, do a Google reverse image search just by downloading the Google app. There's a camera icon and you can take a close up of that pin. And then what comes out of that is you can see all other pins that are like that. So it'll do like a reverse image search. It'll show you eBay listings, PinPix listings. And my first recommendation is always just see what else of that pin is out there. And if there's any differences you notice sometimes. It's hard to tell online, but in person, if you have a pin in front of you, the biggest tells are kind of like the weight of the pin. Another one is misspellings, as silly as that sounds. I've seen so many people who fake pins and can't spell Disney. It happens on some of these scrapper pins. You'd be surprised.
Wow.
Who would have thought Disney had an L instead of an I? Like basic things like that can happen. So check the back of the pin, not just the front. Check for spelling. At the bottom of a pin, especially the newer ones, you will see it's hard to tell, but there's like an FAC number on the bottom of it. And some of them, they all should have a hyphen. And some pins just don't have a hyphen. So that's a way to tell. Another way to tell is the spacing of pins, the spacing of waffle. So there's a whole bunch of different ways to tell, but my best tip for anyone is just first things first. If you get a pin, you're like, I don't know, and there's not an in-person event, go to PinPix, do a reverse image search, go to eBay and see what other similar pins there are. And that will kind of tell you usually pretty well if something's authentic or not. And the other best tip I have is if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So if there's like hidden Mickey chaser pins that someone has put online for like $2, it's probably not real. If there's like a cursive cutie Disney Studio Store Hollywood pin that is like $30, it's probably not a real pin. So there are some things you can just tell based on the pricing as well. But at our events, we also have there's someone named Ashley who's going to be up at the front. And so for anyone who's just coming to our North Carolina Disneyana event on Saturday for the first time, has never traded before, is wondering, is this pin real or fake? Take it up front, and that is a reliable person who can help you out as well. So we really try to help people kind of tell the differences whenever they have a question on it.
Nice. So in addition to pin trading, there are events all day. Oops. There are events all day.
Yep.
And so this is kind of what's happening. So VIP entry is going to start at 9. Then the doors open for everyone at 10. You have round 1 of Pingo at 11. Food trucks are shown. You've got 2 food trucks. Am I right?
Yeah, we got Berto's Chimneys and Copperhead's Burgers. If folks are native to North Carolina and the Durham area, they're going to know pretty quickly what we're talking about there. It's good. And there's vegetarian, vegan, and gluten-free options as well. So we tried to have something for everybody. And a common complaint we have heard in past events has been, I love this 8-hour-long day. I just wish I had food so I didn't have to leave and then come back. So we try to take care of that. It's like right in the back parking lot for food trucks and multiple options as well. And if you're a VIP member or a vendor, I will just say maybe I'll bring some extra donuts for free for folks. So it never hurts to get those VIP tickets in.
There you go. Trivia is at 1:00. I participated in that last year, lost pretty well. And then round 2 of Pingo is at 3 o'clock, and the event ends at 5. So it's been a full day there with VIPs entering at 9 all the way through till 5 o'clock. And there'll be vendors there with all sorts of stuff, as we talked about, lounge flies, I'm sure, and specialty. We showed all of that. I enjoyed that part of it, just going around all the tables last year. So if you're in the area, make sure to stop by and check it out. If you are not in the area, make sure to watch my channel, because I'll be streaming that. And then as soon as I finish, I'll shoot you over to Corey, who won't be live at that point, because then I still have to get back here to the studio to start the show. So, but no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure Catherine and Finley are as well. I'm sure we'll be doing some, or they'll be doing some Disney bounding. I might wear the shirt to promote the podcast. Maybe we'll see.
And
Good idea.
The one thing I really just have to underscore is thank you so much for just coming to these events, telling people about it. It's so important that we not just have, a big convention style event, but we also have our state style events, pin trading, Disney merchandise. It's for everyone. It shouldn't just be Florida. It shouldn't just be California. As much as I love those states, we really need like these Dayton Disneyana and Ohio, North Carolina Disneyana. We need to make sure that we're supporting all of these efforts to bring pin trading and pin selling and vendors and merchandise to everybody. And that's really at the crux of this, because of people like you, because of so many people who have wanted this event to happen. It's happening. And so I'm trying to take this mantle on to preserve this tradition that's so important to not just me, but I heard from so many people about how much it meant to them and their family. And really, at the end of the day, that's what we're going for. We just want people who like Disney to gather together, make some friends, and have some fun in the process. So we're so glad that you could help get the word out to people.
No, love it. Yeah, glad I can help, and I will certainly be there to stream it. So anybody that wants to see it, we'll have people from all over the country, and maybe even all over the world watching. So Carrie Higgins says, "Do you get a pin if you win Pingo?"
So no, you don't get a pin. You get all of the pins. You get a pile of pins.
Yeah.
So how it works is like I saw GoPin Pro had this event. So full transparency, this isn't some idea that popped into my head. This is like a copy and paste of something I saw that worked really well. Full disclosure. So how it works is what you do is you go to the event, and at 11 a.m., that's our first round. I'm going to go on our mic and say, hey, we're starting Pingo. A volunteer is going to go around the room and collect authentic pins. So if you have a authentic carded pin, you'll put it in a bag and they'll hand you a bingo card. And then we'll get the bingo game started. We'll call out the numbers, and first one to get bingo gets all of those pins. And if multiple people get bingo at the same time, then it's split. So you get part of the pile. But the fun doesn't end there, because we don't want, when someone gets bingo, your first reaction isn't great for them. Some people, It's like, oh man, it's over that quick.
Right.
So we will then play to blackout for the entire board to be filled up. And then we will have, some nice little, maybe your consolation prize might be like a little Jack cute blanket. So it's not just bingo. We'll keep it playing and make sure folks are having fun. A few folks had asked about, can we do a charity raffle? We're trying to do that. There's some wonky rules in different states. So hopefully in North Carolina, we're trying to be able to go to a nonprofit ability to do those. So this is just, we're not making any money off of the bingo. We're not profiting off of it. It's just people having fun, kind of trading pins that way.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. NC Disneyana is a fun event. I've enjoyed the last 2 years that I've gone. And I'm sure this year will be just as good. It is in Durham. So if you are in the area, anywhere close to the area, make sure to join. And I've seen vendors from a lot from Florida drive up to this event. So they've got a ton of stuff there. I saw popcorn buckets that you could only get at the parks that everybody's looking for. The Figment Loungefly that's behind me, I saw him last year. So make sure to head over there. Bryan, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate all your knowledge and sharing Disneyana with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
All right. We'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you. All right. I was trying to thank him too, but you did a good enough job. I just love his passion for it and being able to keep that whole thing going. That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. I'm
if I was local, I would be there.
Yes. And so for the first time on the show in over 100 this is episode 112, we actually have two guests tonight, which is pretty cool
could get
for
used
us. To yeah, right. I almost played a commercial in between, but I didn't get it loaded up. So next on excuse me, on the show is Tim, who is just a Disney dad vlogging our family's adventures through Disney. So he's going to come on and tell us a little bit about what he's got going on. That is straight from his Instagram page, which is TheDisneyDadLife. So let's bring Tim in. Hello.
Welcome, Tim.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Just fantastic.
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Appreciate you coming on.
All right. Yeah, appreciate for having me. Thank you very much, guys.
You're welcome.
It's funny actually to tail on to your prior conversation. When I was at Disney last week, and we were at Disney Springs, and they have the Pin Traders store.
Yeah.
And on Tuesdays is Pin Drop Tuesday, which I'm not a big pin trader or anything like that, but me and my wife, we were waiting outside to get into the world of Disney, and the lineup to get into the store on the Tuesday morning, like you would think like Taylor Swift was there or something. It was it was crazy. There must have been like 300, 400, 500 people in line. Like I couldn't even see the end of the line. So just the pin trading community is just it's just so massive right now. So it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, we try and keep Corey away from pin traders in Disney Springs because we would never get him out of there. They'd be like, "Sir, we have to sweep now. It's time for you to go."
Yeah. Those lines are massive, though. I didn't realize that community existed. I was looking, as a matter of fact, I was looking the day Starlight began in Magic Kingdom. I was just looking for something new to bring to our channel as a live stream. And through doing some thoughts, research, and things like that, I decided let's bring live pin trading to the channel. So that's what we've done. And I didn't even know until I dove into this about Pintastic Tuesdays. They're crazy. I mean, those hundreds of people in line, most of them won't even get the pins that are released. I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah, it was crazy. I went up and spoke to one of the cast members, and I was like, what's this line for? And then she told me, and she goes, but we're at a wristbands. I go, what do you mean you're at a wristband? She goes, oh, well, you need a wristband to get into the line. I'm like, I don't need a wristband. I just want to know what's going on. So
Right.
Wow.
But yeah,
I didn't know they did
wristbands. Yeah, so apparently the wristbands are if you need to go to the bathroom or if you need to get something to eat, so it kind of holds your place in line if you need to leave the line. So it was all a learning experience for me.
Wow,
But the pins on that day, they were the Garden Grill, because they have the restaurant series going on.
Yes.
So it was Garden Grill Chippendale. And then there was a Tiana pin as well too for the 25th anniversary series. Those are the two that were dropping that day. So, but yeah, it was pretty crazy. So
wow. So, excuse me, Tim. Tell us a little bit about your Instagram page. What had you start vlogging your family's Disney life?
Yeah, for sure. So, we're longtime Disney goers. So, my wife kind of got me dragged into it, which usually what happens with a lot of dads. So,
Opposite here.
So she's, opposite on her. Yeah. So, anyways, so we've been going to Disney like before we even have kids. So, like we're talking like 15 years. It wasn't really until recent where I started to get the idea of, kind of vlogging our, kind of trips and experiences. And it was kind of a moment that I had with our kids, because our kids are kind of right in that like prime Disney age. So, they're 10 and 6 years old. And, they just loved just flipping through the photos on their iPads after our trips and looking back and remembering everything. And, one time, my son goes, "Where's the rest of the video, Dad?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "This is a picture." And when you take the pictures with the live setting on it, and you get maybe that 1 or 2 seconds before you actually see the picture.
Sure.
So he was under the impression that it was a video, and I was like, "No, it's not a video." And seeing how much passion they had in going back and looking at our trips, I was like, why don't I just start videoing them instead of taking photos? And one thing kind of led to another, and I just started, just picking up the camera and hitting record instead of take a picture. And it's kind of been a learning experience ever since, because I've only been doing it for about a year now. It's more so, something for our kids to go back and look on. And it's also quite fun to do. So combination of the two.
Yeah. It's so funny. I'm sure Corey will jump in on the same feeling, but my daughter started, so we met Corey in 22, October 1st, 2022. So that was the first time we were on a live stream. So now
are you saying we have an anniversary tomorrow of our
That's
family
right.
anniversary?
That's right. So 3 years ago, tomorrow, I have all of that time of every trip that Finley's been to Disney, because it's always, on a weekend when we're with him, or even I may live stream on my own. And so I have that to remember. And I know Corey feels the same way, because his kids have grown up on his channel. So it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm listening to all the things you're saying, Tim, and man, I'm like, wow, this is exactly how we started our channel. It was over 7 years ago, and I started out. A lot of people know this story. I'll say it quick. I was a writer at heart for a long time, and I thought, moving to Florida 9 years ago, why don't I set up a simple web page where I can post articles, and we can tell people about our Disney adventures on a weekly basis, and tips and tricks and how to do Disney better as we learn it. But I wasn't patient back then. I didn't know how all this stuff really worked. I wasn't getting a lot of hits on the articles, but it was only like a month or two in. So I decided well, the kids were into YouTube at the time. I think they were the first generation to kind of watch YouTube a lot and follow certain
Mhm.
channels with other children in them. So I just looked at them, and that's kind of what made me say, do you guys just want to try to be on YouTube? And maybe we can do this on YouTube instead. And
Yeah.
that's how it started, just like that. Nothing glitzy or glamorous about what might happen down the line. Just, hey, let's just do this and share with people on video, and then we're going to have all these home videos for years. And I didn't even know we do it for years, but for years and years to come. My kids can look back right now on 7.5 years of stuff.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and we had to have a good conversation, my wife and I, when we did Disney's Alani 3 years ago, because I said, okay, this is our first time to Hawaii. It's a trip of a lifetime. How do you want to handle this in terms of vlogging or being live? We want to make sure we're enjoying this and taking it all in. And what it really boiled down to was, I said to her, you know what? For years, even before kids, you and I have been going on vacation. What do? I have a camcorder in my hand the entire time. I'm filming all the time anyway. So I said, why don't we just do it like we do it? And she said, if there's a point you want to just stop or do something else, do it. So we vlogged and live streamed so much, but it didn't take anything away from our enjoyment, because it's what we did anyway. And now we have all this
Yeah.
stuff. So it's great.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Yeah. It's funny they say that, because if you think, because I'm an 80s kid, so growing
Same.
up, you know, camcorders and the JVCs with your dads like this, those were the
Yeah.
things back in the day, and then they're just at the birthday parties or Christmas, just walking around like this. And we kind of went through a phase where video was kind of out for a bit. It was more just photos, and I think only recently, kind of the post-COVID era, have you really seen a resurgence back up into the videos and the vlogging. So, but yeah, so that's kind of what I did. It's just crazy, because I'll upload a new video, for example, when the kids are sleeping, because that's when I do a lot of my work, and they'll wake up in the morning because they'll have their iPad in their bedroom and like, "Oh, Dad, I watched your new video this morning. When did you upload it? Why didn't you tell me about it?" So, but so they really get a thrill out of it, and like you said, it's great memories to look back onto. And yeah, so I kind of had to put like a bit of a spin, or like a niche on the channel. So that's kind of why I went like the Disney Dad route, just because in the videos I try to kind of show some of, the work that the Disney dads have to do while at Disney to make the magic happen. So there's a lot of hidden things that go unnoticed, other than booking lightning lanes and making dining reservations. So I
Yeah,
try
that's
my
for
best to
sure.
kind of show the not so glamorous side of things. But yeah, so that's kind of the reason why I started the channel. And it's this combination of like a passion for Disney, something for our kids to look back onto, and it's actually something that I enjoy doing. So a combination of all those three is kind of why I do it. Like, I don't do it for the views. Like, most of my videos don't get too many views, but I don't really care about that. It'll all come in time, if it does come. So God will bless me with that if it comes.
Yep. So you just came back from a trip. How often do you get to go?
It really depends. So we do have annual passes. We do live in Canada, so it's not as easy for us to get down there.
Mhm.
But we do generally try to go down like 3 or 4 times a year, which is quite a lot. But we are vacation club members too. So being a vacation club member, and in combination with the annual passes, our trips are free, in quotations. sometimes.
Right.
You know,
That's that Disney math.
yeah.
We get it.
Yeah. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. It's girl math, Disney math. So, yeah. So we usually try to go down, maybe like 2, 3, maybe 4 times a year. So we were down in August with the kids for a week to kind of end off their summer vacation. And then my wife and I went back and actually just did a solo trip. So we were there last week. It's our first solo trip that we've done in, I can't even tell you how long. So we did that. And then our next planned trip is we're going down in December for the Christmas party. So we asked the kids what they wanted. We asked the kids what they wanted for Christmas this year, and we gave them various options. And one of them was to have tickets to go to the Christmas party. And that's what they chose. So that's what we're going to be doing. So so that's what we try to do. Obviously things change, but on average, I'd say that's what we do. Yeah.
When in December are you going?
So we were going the week just before Christmas. So we were going like the 15th to like the 20th, like that range. So then it gives us enough time to get back and do Christmas with the kids and families and stuff. So, and we're looking forward to the Christmas party because my wife and I, we were supposed to go to the not so scary Halloween party last week, and it just poured rain the whole time. So we didn't even really, yeah. So it was like, all day it was like, 4 o'clock, it was sunny, it was nice out. And then we went into the Beacon Barrel to have a couple drinks before the party and to check out the new bar there. And then we came out and the sky was just so black. And then we went on the radar on our phones and we're like, oh, this is not going to be good. So we were out of there by 8:30 because they just canceled everything. So so it was quite the experience because we did do the not so scary party last year with our kids, and basically they were just trick-or-treating the whole time. So we wanted to actually do like some adult stuff because their main goal is to literally get as much candy as possible. So we were trying to do some adult stuff this time to see some of the shows, but that backfired pretty bad.
So how different is it doing a family trip versus a adult only trip?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's not too different, as weird as it may sound. Like we're pretty park people, so we like being in the parks.
Okay.
And we're both early risers, so our kids have just programmed us that way. So we're always at the parks for like road drop. So no matter what, we're like, we're gonna sleep into 7 today. 6
I don't
o'clock comes
understand
around,
you people that rope drop. I'm like, I can't be there that early. Probably because I'm hanging out with that guy until 2 a.m. in the parking lot.
Yeah,
But,
we can't seem to go to bed or get home at a decent time.
Yeah.
What is it? Where were we? Oh, Magic closed at 10 on Saturday. Steve and Tony were visiting from North Carolina. And we got home and I'm like, how did we get home at like whatever it was, 1:30 in the morning, something like that? It was because we couldn't get out of the parking lot. It was like after 1 before we left the parking lot.
That's crazy. So kind of like the main difference is, maybe our ride selection might be a little bit different, or we won't buy lightning lanes maybe for the day just because like we can stand in line for a half hour versus kids a half hour is like 6 hours in their mind. We'll just go to different restaurants. So we'll go to maybe something, more on the higher end side versus just eating chicken strips and fries, which don't get me wrong, those are delicious. So just minor things. But, for the most part, it's obviously less stressful. I can tell you that much. because
Yeah.
if we can't get on a certain ride, whatever, it's not a big deal. But in a kid's eyes, that's totally different. So, very minor differences, but I guess like the structure of our day is pretty much the same. But yeah, you just you get to enjoy things a little bit more. So we ended up actually doing the Keys to the Kingdom tour. Have you guys done that before?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No? Oh man, I would highly recommend doing it. So we've always been saying how we want to do it, and I think it's 16 or 18 plus in order to do the tour.
Yeah.
And it's a how long was it? It was from nine in the morning to 2 p.m. So it's like a 5 hour walking tour. I don't want to spoil too much about it, but it's super super cool if you're into
Yeah.
like Disney history and facts. There's just so many little hidden mysteries throughout the parks that you just walk by on a daily basis and you don't even blink an eye at. And the tour guide will stand you in front of there and talk about it for like 20 minutes about the significance of this writing on this window, for example, on Main Street. So, so that's one real cool thing that we did get to do without the kids. That if
That's
you are doing
nice.
an adult trip, I would highly recommend doing that. It's really, really cool.
Very nice. So your DVC, what's your home resort?
So we have two home resorts. So we are our first contract was at Copper Creek, and then our second one is Grand Floridian. So we've never stayed at Copper Creek before. I've heard it's amazing. But yeah, we usually, depending on like the type of trip that we're doing, that'll dictate where like we decide to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going to maybe be at Epcot because there's, maybe the Food and Wine Festival going on and we're going to plan to be there a lot, then we'll maybe stay at like a Skyliner resort. Or if we're going to be doing the parties and at Magic Kingdom, we'll stay on a monorail resort. So we'll kind of bounce back and forth between the resorts based on where we're going to be for the most of the trip.
Okay.
And our goal is to stay on every resort. And we're, let's say, about 75% of the way. So
Nice. We were on our
yeah.
way there, and then all of a sudden it became All Star was the main resort for us for a little while. But we've hit quite a few.
Our kids love staying at Pop Century, so we're like regulars at Pop Century.
Yeah,
So,
Pop
and
is
it's
is
a
cool.
it's a great spot. You have the Skyliner right there, so you really don't have to take the bus if you're going to Magic Kingdom. And for the price of the room and the resort itself, like you cannot go wrong staying
Yeah.
there. I always tell people that, like it's if we're at DVC points, which is basically all the time, Pop Century is our go-to place.
So, we always like to know what's your favorite park?
Oh, it's a hard question. So it's a tie between Magic Kingdom and Epcot. And if I had to pick one, I would probably lean on Epcot. So I love Magic Kingdom, but Epcot for me, I don't know, there's just like a sense of peace when I'm walking through Epcot. Just like the ambient music playing while you're walking through there, and just like the scenery. My favorite ride is Living with the Land, so I'm kind of biased to Epcot as well too. So it's always a joke with my daughter. She's like, "Dad, do we have to go on that ride again? It's so boring."
Yes, we do.
I'm like, "We'll go on it, but if you want, we can go on Soarin' after. We'll go right next door." So yeah, so it's a real hard decision for me. But if I had to go, I would be on Epcot. Magic Kingdom is it's obviously a lot busier. It's a lot more chaotic. So but obviously there's the history there, which makes it essentially one of my favorite parks too. So. And I also love Hollywood Studios too. Walking down Hollywood Boulevard and going down Sunset, like I don't know, I just love the vibe of Hollywood Studios, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a really hard choice, but if I had to lean that way, that's the way I'd go. What about you guys?
Well, that's the
Mine,
thing, right? Every park has its own vibe. I
yeah.
love that. Like none is like any other. They're all so different. I always say for my top three, they're separated by 0.000001.
100%,
They
100%.
so when I say that, I got to go with the OG MK because it's just the OG. And then it's so hard. It's so hard. I can make a case for all of them. Like I feel like I should put Hollywood Studios next because that's my childhood. The Muppets and Star
Mhm.
Wars is my childhood. So how can that not be my favorite of all time? And then there's Epcot, which is a whole nother vibe. Like you said, it's a sense of calm. It's chill. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna chill today. You don't really say that as much at like Magic Kingdom, you know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
Like
That's
at
true.
At Epcot, you're
Yeah.
like, you're not like, all right, we're going here, then we're going here, then we're going here. Like at Magic Kingdom, it's like just boom, 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 boom. Epcot, it's like, all right, yeah, let's go over here and see what's going on, and let's go over to this pavilion, and oh,
Yeah.
here's a new food booth. Let's try this out and sit down. It's a totally different vibe. Yeah, like you said, like every single park has its own vibe, and they're separated all by such minor differences, and that's what's amazing about Disney is you can always go there and have a different experience, and that's what everyone says. Like, why do you go to Disney so much? And it's like, oh, dude, you don't even know. Like every trip is different,
Yeah.
and that's what I love about it. Right? Is that no trip is the same. There's always something new, and even though if there's something new, there's a new like family memory or moment that is created
Yes.
just because of the parks. So yeah, people think we're crazy for going back, but once they go and they come back, they're like, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Most people get that. I do have a guy that I used to work with who was definitely not a Disney dad. It's a one and done for him. And so when I became an annual pass holder, they were like, "You're going again?" I said, "Yeah." In fact, the trip where we met Corey, we were driving through a hurricane to get there, and they thought we were absolutely nuts to go again, especially during that time. And I was like, "They've already
Hmm.
had the hurricane. I just got to drive through it for a couple hours." And Catherine ended up driving most of that way, but I just got to get through there to get there, and then it was great. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of people that don't understand, but then there's so many people that once they do it, they're like, "Oh, I get it. I get it." Like it is the nostalgia is there. You go to Epcot and it's very different from Magic, and Magic is different from Animal, and Animal's different from Hollywood. And in fact, today I was watching a live stream, and Mary Poppins and Bert are now meeting in Hollywood Studios right in front of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And so is
Isn't that
Pinocchio.
ironic?
So is Pinocchio and Jiminy. Like they are
Right.
on the schedule in the My Disney Experience app that they're meeting. There was also street entertainment. Some juggler or something was out there with Donald right in that center hub. So I think we're
Hmm.
starting to get a real different vibe in Hollywood Studios, and I think the work that's going to happen over there, where Launch Bay was, is going to change that park quite a bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that whole new animation studio area looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were when we were there last week, we were actually there for the last day of the launch bay being open. So Hollywood Studios is just like a zoo because
Mhm.
everyone was going there to get it in for the last kind of the last chance that they could. So, but they did move Darth Vader over to Star Tours,
Yeah.
I heard.
Yeah.
And then BB-8 is no longer doing any of the meet and greets. So we did end up doing the BB-8 meet and greet just to get that
Good.
one more time. So,
Good.
but
Yeah, and
Yeah, that.
Chewie's over by the Falcon.
Oh,
oh
yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yep. Yeah. I irritated Chewy. I have a way of irritating Chewy now and then. I irritated him last time. But yeah, that Vader meet and greet is old school. When my first day ever in Hollywood Studios, which was also my first day ever in Walt Disney World, I met Darth Vader right there at Star Tours, within the forest. So cool
Oh
to see
wow.
him back. Yeah, I actually have that photo on my living room wall of Vader and I standing tough and tall
Nice.
together right by the trees.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he was by
that's
far the longest wait time out of all the characters.
I bet. I was there that day. I was there too
Yeah.
in the evening. I don't know if you were there in the evening, but I showed up about 6:30. So I was there.
Oh, on the last day you're there? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we might have left because it was really hot that day, if I remember. And I think we ended up leaving maybe like mid-afternoon and going back to the hotel. And I think we ended up going over to the boardwalk in Epcot for the night when it cooled down a bit.
Hmm.
But yeah, so
So
that's the
so I have you on Instagram. Are you expanding? Are you just sticking to Instagram? Where can people
yeah.
find you?
So So Instagram is the primary social media that I use. So up here in Canada, TikTok is not really a huge thing in comparison to down in the States.
hmm
So I don't really use TikTok. So Instagram is kind of the main thing, and that's where I started off. And then obviously YouTube is where you can go, the Disney Dad Life, to catch all of our vlogs. And I also do other videos too on trying to share different like tips and tricks that we've kind of learned throughout our journeys in Disney. So there is never-ending tips and tricks, and everyone has their own. So I just kind of share what works for us, and sometimes people might not know, so it might help them out and make their trip a little bit better. So
That's
those are
right.
kind of the two main. Those are kind of the two main social media platforms that I use right now. So
Do you have one that comes to mind? A tip that comes to mind?
for the parks or for the cruises,
Either one. Actually, I'm going on a
either one.
cruise. We're going on the Dream the end of October. So if you have one
Oh,
for the cruises, I'll take one too. But for the parks too.
yeah, jealous, jealous. So for the cruises, my main tip is to be early for everything. Just because the cruises they're busy, and if you want to go to one of the like the stage shows, or if you want to go to a certain event or to meet a certain character, go at least like a half hour early, just because it saves so much time in the long run. Because
Okay.
with the character meet and greets, for example, they do form lines, and the cast members will tell you which line is for what character. And then they'll cut off a line at a certain point. Versus at Disney, sometimes they'll rotate the characters in and out. So you might be in line for like a half hour and you want to meet a certain princess, and then it comes to your turn, and then that princess goes away. So
Mm,
that's one nice thing about on the cruise, is that you can be early and then you can get through super quick. So like when we were on the Disney Treasure, the lineup to see the Moana show, which is the most popular show on the Treasure,
mhm.
we went, I think, an hour and a half early before the show started to get a seat, which
Wow.
is crazy,
Wow.
crazy. And
Wow.
there was people already lined up. So yeah,
See,
yeah. So
it's
it's like,
those people that ruin it for the rest of us. We have to get
yeah,
in
I
line
know.
90 minutes ahead of time because you want to get it in line,
I
90
know, I
minutes
know.
ahead
And that was our whole thought process, right? We're like, someone's already there, and then if they see someone there, then they're going to get in line, and next thing you know, we're going to be SOL. So,
of time.
yeah, so that's the one thing is, yeah. And then another thing too on the cruises, if you're not big into doing ports and excursions, is to stay on the ship during port days. So, Nassau is the most common port on the Disney cruise, and we've been to Nassau so many times that it's like I don't need to go to Nassau again. It's the same.
Mm,
But a lot of people do get off, and the ships are so much more quiet and enjoyable. So if getting off on a port isn't a priority to you, like you paid for the Disney cruise, you paid for the ship, stay on the ship and enjoy it, because it's at one point we were sitting in the main lobby of the Treasure, and we were the only ones in the lobby, like the main lobby right when you walk in, and our kids were just chasing each other around and around and around, and they had the whole lobby to themselves. It was insane on like this massive cruise ship.
Yeah.
And we had the whole ship to ourselves. And then the Aquamouse slide that they have there, on a ship day you're waiting maybe 20-30 minutes to go on the slide. And I think on the port day we went on it, I want to say at least 10 times in a row, because there's no one even in line. Our kids are just like, again, again, again. And I'm like, I gotta get off, man. I'm like, my back hurts. Like, I'm too old for this. So that's one real cool thing is on the port days, like the ship is just dead, and it's real cool to explore, because it is difficult to explore, on a day at sea, just because everybody is on the ship, right? So
that makes a lot of sense. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
I will keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind.
Is this your first Disney cruise?
This is our first cruise ever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna have such a good time.
Ever. Yeah,
So
we're going for Catherine's birthday, so she's
Oh,
excited.
nice. Yeah, we've been on the Dream. I want to say three or four times. We've been on that was kind of the ship that we were going on a lot before the Wish line came through. So I don't know. It just always seemed to be. We booked a cruise and it always just ended up being the Dream based on the times that we wanted to go. So it's a great ship, and you're gonna have an amazing time. So
yeah, we're looking.
We don't
forward
have
to
any
it.
cruises. We don't have any cruises booked right now forthcoming. So we're like every day we're like itching. It's like, oh, should you just put a deposit down? It's okay. We can figure out how to pay for it later on.
Yeah, Corey has a cruise booked.
Yes, I have a cruise booked for the first week of August. So that
nice.
countdown is
What-
on, and we're going on the
what ship
Fantasy.
is that on? The Fantasy.
Fantasy?
Yeah, we've never been on the Fantasy.
You know what I find funny too is the Fantasy is, of course, not one of the newer ships, but when I talk to a lot of Disney cruisers, a lot of them point to the Fantasy being their favorite.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because I was before we came on. I was watching some vlogs while we were eating dinner, and there was one. Do you guys know Ordinary Adventures? I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah. So they were doing a fantasy vlog, and that's the first thing that they said is that out of all the Disney cruises, for them, that is their favorite one. And I've never been on the Fantasy, so I can't speak to it, but I do know a lot of people love the Fantasy. So
Yeah. See, now I want to go back later and watch their vlog on the Fantasy again. I've seen it before, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again.
yeah, it was like a year or two ago, but like when we watch dinner and we get home, I just kind of put it on YouTube and it just kind of rolls through. So whatever comes up, that's kind of what comes up. And that one came up funny enough. So I do know a lot of people love it, and my brother actually went on it last year with his family, and they had a blast too. So that one's on our to-do list, because that's actually the only Disney cruise that we have not been on. So we've been on all the other ships except the Fantasy. So
okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, and we know that we're going to end up getting hooked. And if we're not planning a Disney World trip or even a Disneyland trip, because we got to get that in next year too, that will probably be on a cruise.
Yeah.
So
the nice thing
people
about
do tell me. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish first.
No, go ahead.
I was going to piggyback off what Lawrence kind of triggered in my mind, which was, I really feel like I'm going to love it already so much that I'm going to want to come home and book the next one. But people say that sometimes you get a pretty good deal offered to you before you even get off the ship. Have you ever been offered something really good, and like how good was it?
Yeah. So I'll know exactly what you're talking about because we do it every single time that we're on there. Because once you're on there, you're just like, "Ah, I don't want to get off. When's the next one?" So what they do offer is in the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app, which is kind of the app that you use throughout the Disney cruises. It gives you the option to buy a placeholder. And so what the placeholder is, it's $250 US. And what it gives you is it gives you 10% off your next cruise, and you don't have to book it on the cruise ship. So you can, just go home and book it. I think you have up to 2 years to use the placeholder. And it's fully refundable as well too. So if you decide not to do one, you can get your $250 back. And that $250 also gets applied to the balance of the cruise. So you get 10% off plus the $250 that you already paid. So it's a pretty good deal. And you get 2 years to use it, and it's fully refundable. So we just always do it just because, why not? It's not really that much money in Disney terms.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then it gives you the option to always have a cruise kind of pending for you. So, that's kind of the one kind of discount that they do offer. So it used to be a little bit different back on the day. Like you used to have to buy it at the ship. It wasn't all done just digitally on the app. But that's kind of what they've transitioned over to. So
nice. Yeah.
So I would highly
I'm guessing
recommend,
we'll be
I'd
taking
highly
advantage.
recommend doing it. Yeah, 100%.
Lawrence is gonna do
Highly
it.
recommend
Lawrence,
it.
I'm already planning on doing that then.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about the cruises is like it kind of does give you a bit of like a vacation feel. Like the parks, we already talked about them. The parks are the parks, but the cruises, they kind of do give you a bit of time to like wind down, and you also get the Disney aspect of it,
Mhm.
and you get the Disney quality as well too, which is a whole other story. I could talk forever about just the level of service, the quality of food is just unbeatable. Like I've talked to people who have been on like high end other ships, and they've been on the Disney cruise, and they all say the Disney cruise blows them out of the water. So
Yeah, that's unbelievable because our first time ever going on a cruise was last year, and we picked Royal Caribbean. And honestly, we can all say that it was a perfect trip. The service was perfect. The food was perfect. Everything was perfect. We had no issues with anything. So to know that Disney is that step above and my expectations are there and I know they'll meet them, I'm even more excited about it, having gone on something that's technically a little lesser quality.
yeah, if you already went on a perfect trip, then this one's going to be like even better, right?
Yeah, it's going to be magical. Yes.
Exactly. It should be.
Yes.
Yeah, our trip is roughly 24 days, 3 hours, 41 minutes, and 20 seconds away.
But who's counting?
I think.
Who's counting? I was just going to say that.
So, very cool. And so, somebody wants to know, what's your favorite ride at Magic?
Favorite Magic Kingdom, I think is obvious.
Yeah, I
was
figured.
going to say probably what's playing in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's also Halloween time too, so I kind of go with the vibes of things. But I just love the Haunted Mansion. It's such a cool ride, and when you do the Keys to the Kingdom tour, there's actually quite a big segment on the Haunted Mansion and different kind of Easter eggs throughout the ride. It's pretty cool because you do the tour, and then they tell you all the information about the ride, and then they're like, all right, let's go ride the ride now. So you're on the ride, and you're just like looking for all these different new things that you just learned, and it's really, really cool when you actually learn about the history of the ride and why certain things are in certain places. So super, super cool to do that tour and then be able to go onto the rides, and it's just a great ride altogether. So hands down, no questions asked. Close second though was Pirates, and then People Mover.
That's a good top three.
Yes, it is. Yeah, Pirates is my second favorite. For a long time, I went between Pirates and Haunted, but it's Haunted all the way now. And third, though, I have to go with Carousel of Progress, and then probably People
Oh
Mover.
yeah, that's a great one too. It'll be really cool with the new update that they're doing on it too, with having Walt in the new introductory scene.
Yeah.
So that would be cool. Um, I do like Tron a lot too. We did get to ride it with the new red overlay. So that
Yes.
was kind of cool. But for me, I'm not like a big thrill ride guy.
Mhm.
So I like my like boat rides and low key kind of stuff. So
And you didn't go to Disney until you were how old then?
so I did go when I was a child. So I did go to Disneyland with my parents when I was 2 or 3, so I have absolutely no recollection of that whatsoever, but there is photographic evidence of it.
Okay.
Um, and then I really didn't start going though until I met my wife. So I think I did go to Magic Kingdom with my parents once, I want to say, when I was again maybe 10-ish, but again,
Mhm.
no real memory of that. So really didn't start going until I met my wife, and her Disney obsession turned into an obsession for myself. So and then so that I would say, yeah, it was about 15 years ago is when we really started going. And
Mm.
then once we had kids, that just kind of expedited everything. And it went from once a year to twice a year to 3 times a year to oh, there's cheap flights this weekend. You
That's
want to go
right.
down for a couple days?
That's right.
So,
Or they released a new magnet. We've got to go pick up the new magnet.
I
So
know, I know.
I'm
That's one
staring at
thing
mine
that
over here. So yeah.
yeah, because we missed out on them all the time, and we were actually fortunate enough to be down there when the new one was just released. So we did pick up that
Hmm.
at Animal Kingdom when we were there in August, but we quite often miss those just because of timing of things. So, yeah, so I can see us, you know, only going more in the future just
Yeah.
because of, all the different things that I was mentioning. And there's just so much planned with Disney
Yep.
in the future. It's unreal what
Yeah.
is lying ahead with the new Cars Land, the Villains Land, the new American Pavilion in Animal Kingdom. So it's just like it's like, okay, there's my next 5 years planned.
Yeah. I mean, every year we're gonna get some. Annual pass holder previews are gonna be coming out pretty steady, which is going to be nice. And there's always going to be something new for the next 5 years. You're going to have probably some dips in attendance, which for those that are in the parks every week, that'll be certainly nice for Corey. And then you're going to have these huge rises where you have all this new stuff coming out, which is good for the company and their bottom line. So it's just something that we have to deal with at that point. But hey, when the dip
Yeah,
happens, then you go and you get some good deals on resort stays.
Yeah,
yeah.
you
Well,
do.
there's definitely a lull right now because when we were there in August, it was probably some of the quietest I've ever seen the parks.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and the deals that they were throwing, and even having deals at Christmas time is kind of unheard of. And
Unheard of.
I don't know if yeah, so I don't know if it's a combination of a lot of things are closed right now because of the renovations, and then you have that in conjunction with Epic Universe opening over in Universal, and
Yep.
a lot of people wanted to go there. So I don't know if it's just kind of that like perfect storm creating like this low attendance at Disney. But I remember on one of the days in August when we were there, we went there on the morning of a party day, which is like a good hack if you're not going to the party. We did, I think, 15 rides. We'd rode almost every single ride in Magic Kingdom, and we were out by lunch without a lightning lane.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was
See, that's a vlog
it
right
was
there. That's a
insane.
vlog.
I did vlog it. I did vlog it. It was a no lightning lane challenge with kids, and I'm working on it right now. And the
Nice.
longest line we waited in was Tron, and it was like 20 minutes. And
Yeah, I don't know
and
whether
other than
people
that, like
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Finish.
No, I was
Oh,
just
and
gonna say, like, we walked right on Mine Train. Like, everything was just like boom, boom, boom. It was unheard of. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't know where the people came from on Saturday. Like Shirley was saying, it was one of the busiest Saturdays I've ever seen in my life at Magic Kingdom. I mean, you talked earlier about, every time you go, it's a different experience in the park, right? And when I feel like it's a glaring difference, I always point it out towards the end of a live stream. And I was pointing it out on Saturday. I'm like, this is very different. I mean, we never went on Pirates. We didn't even sniff Haunted Mansion. No Small World, no Peter Pan. No Mine Train. I did get my butt in a honey pot by the end of the night. Did I? I think I did. Yeah.
Yes.
I think we did. We did get on that. It was a lot of shows. It was just, I mean, when the lowest, what was it? There's certain rides where you look at on the app and you can kind of gauge how everything else is going to look. So when like Teacups and Magic Carpets and Dumbo are 25 minutes all night, you're in trouble. So
Yeah.
so it was
It's
just
like
a lot
when
of
we,
like, we did Carousel of Progress, we did Monsters Laugh Floor, we just did every show we could find just to keep it moving. And at the end, I was like, wow, we didn't even step in certain areas tonight until like the end. But we did finish off with Red Tron, so I always have something for the audience.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool. Yeah, because when we were there that morning where it was super dead, we went into the app and we're like, Peter Pan's only 15 minutes. What's going on? Why is Peter Pan only 15 minutes? That's not normal.
Man, oh man. Yeah. Well, Tim, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your journey with us. Again, you can find him at TheDisneyDadLife, right? On both Instagram and YouTube. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
correct. No spaces, no capitals, all just one word. So thank you so much for having me on, guys. I had a blast with you guys.
Hey, no problem.
And
Thank you for being
hopefully
here.
we can do it again another time down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Listen, there's a lot of
Time
new
to,
stuff coming out, a lot of news coming out. So, yeah, be glad to have you back on to talk about that.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to
Yeah, for sure.
out
All
of
right,
your
guys.
busy life to spend with us. Take care.
Thanks.
Yeah, anytime.
All right. Yeah. So, and that was our first international guest.
I was wondering that. I was like, is that the first time
I
you've
think
gone
so.
outside of the US of A?
I think so. That was pretty cool. So, yeah, great guest tonight. Appreciate them both coming on. It's always fun to talk to people in the community on every side, creators and folks that are just doing stuff like Bryan to bring Disney outside of the Orlando and Anaheim area. So definitely love that for sure. All right, so we are going to end our night here, but we are going to send you over now to Cruising Theme Park Guide, who is at the Halloween party. So be sure to check that out. That should she's in the parade now, so you'll get the end of the parade, and fireworks will be right after that. So you can end your night with a little excitement there.
All right, let me address our guy, Victor Naraki. If you're looking for a home that offers the perfect blend of luxury, comfort, and convenience with Disney World in your backyard, Victor Naraki is a licensed realtor with Vision Home Real Estate, LLC, and he is here to help you find the home of your dreams. With over 15 years of experience in the Disney area home market and a proven track record of success, Victor is the perfect partner to guide you through every step of the home buying process. So why wait? Go check out Victor Naraki at celebratingflorida.com, and also subscribe to his YouTube channel at Victor Naraki, all one word. And he is also now a proud member of the DSN. That's the Disney Streamer Network. And did I say that right? Sometime. Yep. Yeah, Disney Streamer Network, dsn.disneystreams with an S, right? .com. And you can see him on Sunday afternoons taking those tours for you with you. So okay, so before we go, I want to say thank you for listening to us live. And we also, we do it live because we do it for you, and we also appreciate everyone that supports us, whether it is on Amazon, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple. And the last thing I want to say is it's a certain person's birthday, everyone, this week. And why not celebrate that on the podcast with balloons and cake? Like, how would that even happen? How would that even happen? I have no idea.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lawrence. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my goodness, guys.
There you go.
You want me to blow it out?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, this wish is not coming true. That and he got the ears. What are the ears? Has he seen these ears before?
I have not seen these. Have I seen these? I haven't seen these.
Those ears, I literally just made them while I was watching the show.
Oh, that is funny. So
you guys, thank
love
you.
that. Tiki Doreen is in to watch this moment.
I was truly not expecting that at all.
You were trying to get out of here quick. I'm like, I gotta slow this guy down.
I was trying. I was like, he's slowing me down. I even texted him. I was like, we're gonna end soon.
I saw that.
What's funny is that I'm listening
And
to
then
the playback now, and I came in like at the perfect
You did.
time.
You did. That was
Like,
perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Catherine said it's on delay, so text me. So I texted, "Come on in," and she wasted no time.
That was good. Thank you, and thank you all for being here for that. That's very cool. Very cool.
Awesome.
Yep. Not every day you turn 30.
Not every day. Only one day.
All right, I need you to do it again because I need my picture. I have a picture, you guys, of Lawrence holding a cake on his birthday, this one will be an early one. For every year that we've been together, going back to 2011. So, I need to get a picture. So, you guys need to smile because you'll all be in the picture. And then next week, I'll make I usually for his birthday, I'll make a little collage.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'll have him show you guys the collage. Woo! Oh my god.
Oh my god.
All right, everybody, say cheese. Lawrence.
Cheese.
They fell off. My ears
Wow.
fell off
Where's his ears?
Oh,
behind me.
Oh,
his ears. His ears. Where?
I haven't even looked at them. Guys.
Yeah, show them to us.
it's Dwight from The Office.
Oh, that's funny. Love Dwight.
The fire.
Dwight's amazing from The Office.
Fire.
All right.
The fire.
Are you gonna be in the picture?
Yes.
All right, then you gotta get close.
Okay.
All right, everybody, say cheese.
Cheese.
Look at me, say cheese. All right.
Blow it out. Oh.
Very nice.
Oh my
Thank you all for being here. Oops.
Oh.
I don't know who's
But
producing
now
the
you
show.
can see more of us. Oh my god, it's so hot in here, you guys.
It's very hot. It's the fire. It's the candles.
And look, it's a nothing bundt cake. Have you guys ever had it? It's so delicious. I hope you like this flavor. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, come on.
We're gonna try. All right. I'm gonna
All right.
send you all off to another party instead of a Halloween Christmas. What is this? Birthday party. We're gonna send you to a Halloween party. I don't know what's happening anymore. So there's the link. If you want to check out the Halloween party tonight, head on over there. Thank you for putting that together and helping out with that. Very
My
cool.
pleasure, my friend. My pleasure. Happy to be involved. And yeah, so I guess we said all our pleasantries there. Tomorrow night we are live in Magic Kingdom, everyone. We are going to continue with the super duper Diz Vision. So happy with it. I mean, Lawrence, I'm going back and watching my own live streams. I didn't do that before.
Yeah.
When I sign off, I just drop the mic and I walk away. The stream is history. It's done. I'm done with it. I'm on to the next one. I'm coming home and I'm watching them because they're so amazingly crisp and clear. So let's go do that again tomorrow, and we'll be testing, right? If we can get on Haunted Mansion, we're going to try to test some of the more difficult ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So if you're watching tomorrow, hang in there. I'm sure you all will, but please hang in there. If we do end up lagging, this is certainly going to be a test. But after Saturday, I mean, I think we might have counted 10 seconds total lag Saturday. So
Yeah. I mean, it was just I call that a perfect stream. So I would say I did nothing. And Jacob was like, "Is Lawrence just like napping and stuff like that today?" Because I told him it's less work for you. So But I would like to take the stream into Pirates, Haunted, Small World would probably be the main objectives, and see how it handles that. I'm sure with Ariel, there's nothing you can do about that, but you can tell me if anyone else with the bonding has done better.
it comes and goes just like everything else. Theme Park Giant today couldn't connect to their Wi-Fi at all in Little Mermaid and had nothing through the whole ride until you get to the very end boat scene. But it just happens sometimes like that. But I think after Saturday, I think we saw a huge improvement, not only in the lag, but in the clarity and the quality. It is, like Corey said, he's gone back and watching it. I watched it the other day too, because after it uploads and you got to take all the copyrights out, YouTube then processes it again. So I wanted to see, after it processes it, does it still show that clear? And it is still that clear, folks. This is really different. So we're gonna
next level.
Yeah, we're gonna hit it again, and hope you're all enjoying it and the graphics and that kind of stuff. So,
can you imagine doing the safari out there at Animal Kingdom with super duper Diz Vision?
Oh my
How
goodness,
smooth that'll be.
Oh, I'm telling you,
you'll be able to see the hairs on the back of the, I don't even know whatever animals. Pick an animal.
You mean Jungle Cruise? Oh no, you mean Animal Kingdom. Got it.
Animal Kingdom, the safari, yeah. Be good. Some good stuff. All right, Magic Kingdom closes at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So we'll take what the park gives us. We'll have some fun. We'll see what happens.
That's right. Yeah. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for celebrating with me. Yes, my birthday is Friday, and I'm working that day, but I don't care.
I work my birthday all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say it like it's not the same anymore. So yeah, but then I get to hang out on Saturday. I'm off on Saturday, doing the Disneyana, and then I'm coming back home and hanging out with all of you in
sounds awesome
in Epcot.
Yes, in Epcot. Jacob's first time over there for food and wine. So
all right,
let's go.
Did he put together a list of what he wants to try?
Not yet, but let me see. Sometimes he just likes to go with it, but we'll see.
All right.
I know I want him to get his lips around those barbecue wings, the Korean barbecue wings. So
Catherine says she likes working on her birthday. We can cancel the cruise if you really like working on your birthday. I don't know. Maybe this year might be different. She'll sacrifice. So, all right, folks. Great hanging out with all of you. Thank you all for being here. Next week, I think we might be talking pins, Corey.
All right. Sounds good to me.
That might be the plan. So
sounds good.
We'll see.
Yes.
All right, folks. Thanks again, and we will see you next week. I'll let Corey close it out.
All right, everyone. So here we are. I hope you had a lot of. You caught me off guard. I will simply say, until next time, we're just a couple of bros talking Disney. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
DIZPod, where the magic's here to stay.